Hey guys, morning. I hope you're having a really great start to your day and a great early start to your weekend. So today's practice, we're going to just start seated on our mats, the best way I think to start a practice. And the practice is all about flowing through our practice and really cultivating that flow, finding that flow. And it's the same way as, throughout our day, finding that rhythm throughout our day. So it's really important how we start our day each morning, the thoughts that we think. If we wake up in a sour mood, how fast can we switch that off and come into a positive light? And so always starting with gratitude, maybe saying 3 things in the morning that you're thankful for right off the bat before you even get out of bed, something easy to do. And just notice that simple little practice, how that will help just slightly shift your morning and shift the rest of your day. And so when you find that you come back into a sour mood, maybe later on in the day, you can come back to those things of gratitude that you found early. So think about that as we close our eyes together, lift up through the center of the chest, and we'll pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. And I just want you to take a few breaths here. Start to breathe deeply in and out of the nose. And then feel the body just settling here. There's nothing that you need to do. There's nowhere, hopefully, that you need to be. But if you're here, be here completely. A lot of times we're so effortlessly and mindlessly moving through our interactions. It becomes really repetitive. And in some cases, that's helpful and positive. But in other times, we are not even connecting to the people we're around. We're not connecting to the activity that we want to be doing. So just take a moment so you can shift all of your perspective to right now. And then wherever you want to have the hands, you can keep them on the thighs. You can bring them together in front of the heart. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths to begin our practice. Big, deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth exhale to sigh it out. Do that again. Bigger inhale. And a full exhale. Do that a final time. See if you can breathe a little bit deeper on the inhale. And a full exhale. And then seal the lips. Bring all of your awareness to that breath. Deeply breathing in and out of the nose. That conscious breath. Give your breath a sound as you drag the breath along the back of the throat. Just start to soften the muscles in the face. Feel the sit bones get even heavier, but feel the heart lifting a little bit more length through the spine. If you want, you can keep the eyes closed, switch the crossing of the legs, and you'll rock again from side to side just to reground the sit bones down. And the inhale is going to sweep the arms up. I want you to lift through the center of the chest. Feel the fingertips reach up, rotate the pinkies in. That's just going to help you broaden through the back of the shoulders a little bit. And I want you to feel the shoulder blades pull down the back. So notice where your shoulders up by the ears, and can you pull them down the back? So take another inhale here. Feel the sit bones grounding. Feel all this length through the front side of the body. And then when you exhale, you're going to twist towards your right knee. So I believe it's going to be opposite knee. So your left hand's going to go on top of the right thigh. So inhale to lift up and out of the spine. And then when you exhale, you're going to pull on that right thigh with the left hand and gaze over your back shoulder. So use that leverage of holding on to the thigh to help twist the spine a little bit more. And then relax the left shoulder. Still lift up through the sternum. And then take another full breath over that back shoulder. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. And I want you to inhale, come back to center with the arms extended up. Pause for the exhale to ground the sit bones, rotate the pinkies in. Take another breath in to grow tall, and then exhale to the opposite side. Be really gentle on the spine this morning. Right hand is going to come on top of the left thigh. Use that back hand to lift up through the center of the chest, and then the exhale to gaze over the back shoulder. Relax the right shoulder. Big full cycle of breath here. Try and gaze over that back shoulder. Use the leverage of the right hand on that left thigh to maybe deepen your twist. Full round of breath. Then your next inhale is going to unwind you. Extend the fingertips up to ceiling, come back to center, lift through the sternum, look up, palms touch, exhale to bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Then let's roll over the ankles, come into table pose. Do anything that you need to protect the knees. And then I want you to spread the palms nice and wide. Rotate the pointer finger and thumb down into the mat. All of the knuckles are going to root down into the floor. And then reach the crown of the head forward. Feel the collarbone move away from the chin. And then so notice, is the head hanging down? Can you pull the head in line with the shoulders, ears in line with the shoulders, and the back of the head is lifted? And then step one foot back at a time to lengthen through the backs of the legs. So step the right foot back first, come to the ball of the right foot, maybe rock forward and backwards. And then release that right knee down, come to the ball of the left foot. And I just want you to reach through that left heel. Keep reaching through the crown of the head, pressing through the palms. So a little trickiness right here that we're pressing into the palms and just strengthening the arms really subtly here. Getting into the ankle at the same time. And then now bring the right foot back to meet the left. Find your plank pose or push-up position. So be careful not to have the booty lifted too high. We're not coming into downward facing dog yet. And then you don't want to sag the hips. So use your core to bring everything in line. Use your legs to reach the heels down. Reach the crown of the head forward. You can always tap the knees down to the ground for a little bit of support. And then we'll just take one more breath in. And then use the exhale, lift the hips into downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Pull the belly button to the spine. Reach the sit bones up. Take another full cycle of breath here. Come into stillness. And then I want you to inhale, come really high up onto the tippy toes. Exhale to bend the knees. And at the bottom of that exhale, you're going to step to the top of the mat. Inhale, find your half lift. Bring the hands to the shins to start. Roll the weight into the toes. And then you're slightly tucking the chin. So again, for me, I like to look at my toes because I feel like that helps the back of my neck stay long. Take one more breath in. Feel the core and the low back working, and then exhale to fold forward. Slight bend in the knees, fingertips touch the earth. Inhale to rise all the way up. Palms are going to touch, come to a tiny back bend, press the hips forward, and then exhale to bring the hands down to the heart, and then all the way down to the sides of the body. Palms face forward, open the fingers nice and wide. Take a deep breath here. Maybe close the eyes here to keep your focus directed inward. And then inhale, blink the eyes open, arms sweep up, palms are going to touch. I want you to exhale, pull the hands down to the heart and fold forward all the way down. Pause here. Keep the feet hip-width distance apart, or you can bring the big toes to touch and then drop the sit bones, bend the knees. Have the fingertips touching the ground. Then I want you to look forward, reach the heart forward, chin stays tucked. And then on the inhale, keep the sit bones low. Just lift the torso and lift the arms. So arms are right alongside the ears if that's okay. If that's a little too much this morning, then bring the hands to the heart. And I still want you to lift the heart up towards the chin. Keep the ears in line with the shoulders. So notice if the head starts to hang forward. And then lift up through the heart. Sit the glutes down a little bit more. Take a full cycle of breath here. Really good. This is such a hard, challenging pose. You'll take one more breath in. And then exhale to forward fold. Straighten the legs, release the hands. Inhale, find your flat back. You can keep the fingertips on the floor or bring them to the shins. Rock the weight forward. And then exhale to forward fold. Let's bend the knees, plant the palms. Step into downward facing dog. So I always start from plank just to give me a little bit of length, and then I press up. Take a full cycle of breath here. Lift the sit bones nice and high. Find the foundation with the palms. And then on the inhale, right leg is going to lift. Step the foot forward. You can help walk it forward. When I get it there, I always inch it forward a little bit more. And then come up onto the fingertips to give the chest a little bit of space. We're going to step the back foot, the left foot up and out, maybe about 6 inches. So you can look here. So up and out. And then rotate that heel down. Before we come up into warrior one, just make sure that that heel, the front heel, would not touch that back foot. The chest and the hips are pointed forward. Drive the ball of that right foot down into the mat. And then this back leg, I want you to feel the inner thigh rotating backwards. And then that's going to help seal the outer edge of the foot more to the mat. Now when you're ready, let's come up. Find warrior one. Hands can be right alongside the ears traditionally. You can bring them to the heart or to the hips. And then I want you to lift up through the center of the chest. Feel that right hip pull back so you make a little bit of space for that hip crease. And then the torso, use the left side of the ribs so that everything is pointing forward. And then sink down into that front knee. Feel the ball of the right foot pressing into the mat. Feel that back leg spiraling to the back of the mat. Take another full breath here. And then hands are going to come down to the heart, all the way down to the floor. Step back. Find your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Use your next inhale to raise the left leg up. Look forward. Help the foot towards the palms. You can inch it forward. Find your fingertips. Reach the heart forward. And then you're going to press the ball of the left foot down into the floor. Keep that left leg engaged. And then step the right foot up and out about 6 inches. So we'll spiral the heel down. Before you come up, find your foundation, find your alignment. So sink into that front knee. The inner thigh, the inner left thigh spirals down to the floor. So keep that front thigh engaged. The back thigh, the inner thigh, is rotating to the back of the mat. Outer edge of the right foot is sealed. Core is engaged here. So pull the belly button up towards the spine. When you're ready, let's come up, warrior one. Find your hands either alongside the ears, at the heart, or at the hips. And then find space for that left hip. Can you pull this left hip back slightly to make space for this hip crease? And then feel the right side of the ribs rotating forward more. And then arms reach all the way up to the ceiling. Take a full cycle of breath here to settle. And then you're going to look down. Hands come to the heart, all the way down to the floor. Step back, find downward facing dog. Take a big, deep inhale and a full exhale. On your inhale, rock forward, come into plank pose. Wrists are right underneath the shoulders, firm thighs. You can always tap the knees down if you like. And then on the inhale, wherever you are, rock the shoulders forward past the wrists. Legs are staying firm here, core is staying engaged. And then I want you to exhale, come down halfway. So you'll be in line with the elbows. And then now release all the way down. Hips are the last to touch. Keep the elbows hugged into the body. Untuck the toes and press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Press the pubic bone down into the mat. And then you can rest the chin onto your mat. You can rest onto your forehead and the top of the nose. And then just take a moment here. But keep the elbows hugged and keep the palms pressing in. So the body's still pretty engaged here. And then on the inhale, tuck the chin, lift through the back of the head. Find a baby cobra here. Reach through the toes. Keep reaching the heart forward. Soften the shoulders down the back. Full cycle of breath here. And then tuck the toes on your inhale. Firm the thighs, lift the backs of the legs up. So on your next exhale, with or without the knees, you're going to press up and back into downward facing dog. So however you want to get there, but use your exhale to lift the hips. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale to come up onto the tippy toes. Bend the knees. Bottom of the exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. You can hop, step, skip, whatever you want. And then let's inhale, come up halfway. Reach the heart forward. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Bring the tops of the fingertips down to the floor. Sit the sit bones down really low. Belly button pulls to the spine. Reach the heart forward. Inhale, find your chair pose once again. Sit the sit bones back nice and low. You'll soften the shoulders. Rotate the pinkies inward. Take another full round of breath. And then on your next inhale, come to standing. Hands come to the heart. Straighten the legs. Lift through the sternum. Close the eyes. Feel the feet rooting down into the floor. Maybe notice a little bit more beating of the heart. Maybe the breath has sped up. So take a full cycle of breath here. Nice and slow. And then inhale, blink the eyes open, arms sweep up, palms touch. Press the hips forward. Exhale, lead with the heart, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, reach the heart forward, long neck. And then exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, reach the right leg up, look forward, plant the foot between the palms, come up onto the fingertips to make space for the torso. Rotate now that left heel down, and the heel will intersect with that back arch. Sink down into that front knee. Ball of the right foot is driving down into the floor. And then feel that right hip as it's swinging out to the side. Can you pull everything into midline? And then when you're ready, you're going to use that left hand. Inhale to windmill up. Find warrior two. So you can start by looking at the back arm, making sure it's coming out of the body straight. And then open up through the chest. You're going to sink down into this front knee. And then I can see that my knee is going a little bit past my ankle. And so I just walked my foot forward. This right glute is going to scoop underneath the hip. And so it kind of points this left hip down. The hips aren't open and square. And then as you sink down into this front knee, feel the knee pointing towards that middle toe. And then everything is aligned right over the torso here. Extend the arms out away from one another. And then soften the collarbone. Can you pull the shoulder blades together behind the back so that the heart lifts more towards the chin? And then gaze over your middle finger. Big, deep breath in and a deep breath out. You to press into the ball of that right foot. Inhale to straighten through the leg. Bring the arms up overhead. And then keep that right arm up. Release the left hand and come into a fallen triangle or a reverse triangle here. Gaze into that right palm. Soften through the right shoulder. Keep pressing into both feet evenly. Feel that space being made across the front side of the torso. One more breath in and a full breath out. Soften that right shoulder. And then you'll inhale, keep the legs straight, arms come back out to a T. Look down, make sure you're not hyperextending through that right knee. So if you typically do, you have to put a slight bend in there. And then press into the ball of the right foot, reach the fingertips forward, torso hinges forward. And then you're gonna exhale, bring the hands down to your shin. You can bring it down to a block if you have a prop or down to the floor. And then the left hand can go straight up. If that's not working, then bring it to the hip. And then use these bottom ribs, the ribs closest to the thigh, rotate them up towards the ceiling. And that's going to help open up the heart a little bit more. And then wherever you want to be here, I want you to feel both feet grounding into the floor evenly. So feel if you are favoring one side or the other. And then take a full breath here to settle. Really nice. Bend back into that front knee. Left hand's going to swing down to the floor. Spin to the ball of that left foot. Right palm is planted. Step back and find downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and out. Lift the sit bones a little bit higher. Take another full breath. Use your inhale to lift your left leg. Look forward. Let's plant the foot between the palms. Inch it forward as much as you need to. Coming up onto the fingertips, reach the heart forward. And then you're going to spiral that left heel down. Sink into the front knee and make sure if you drew a line that the left heel would intersect with the back arch, the right foot arch. And then as you scoop the left glute underneath the hip, you're going to use that right hand to windmill up. You'll find warrior two on the opposite side. So feel that right foot seal to the mat. You can look down with your eyes and really feel like you're pressing more into the pinky side toe. And then you're spiraling this back thigh, the inner thigh, spiral it backwards. Reach the fingertips away from one another. And as you open up through the heart, that left glute, remember, is going to swing underneath the hip. You're opening up through the chest. And can you sink down into that front knee a little bit more? And once you feel like you have found your alignment, pause here, find stillness. Take a full cycle of breath. You're going to keep the feet where they are, straighten through the legs, straighten the arms, look up as the palms touch. Keep pressing into both feet evenly. Release the right hand down to the back of the thigh. And then reach through that left palm, open up through the front side of the body, soften through the left shoulder, and then relax here. Soften through the neck, keep pressing into the feet. Use your next inhale, bring the arms back out to a T, but keep the legs where they are. You'll inhale to hinge forward. Exhale, bring the left hand down to your shin, a block, or the floor. And then you'll reach the right fingertips up if that feels okay, or bring them to the right hip. Left ribs start to spiral forward up towards the ceiling. And then feel both feet evenly grounding. Once you find that sweet spot, take a full cycle of breath. Then take one more breath in stillness here. You're going to look down to the floor, start to bend into that left knee, spin to the ball of the right foot. Right hand comes down to the floor, followed by the left hand. Step the left foot back, find downward facing dog, and just pause here. Notice now how the body is feeling, maybe a little bit more openness. Maybe the mind is starting to recalibrate so you're able to be a little bit more positive. You're able to see things a little bit clearly today. Take another full breath. And then let's inhale, come up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, bottom of your exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. And then inhale, come up halfway, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Palms are going to touch overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to the heart and down to the sides of the body. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Close the eyes. And as you soften here, feel the feet rooting into the floor, but lift up through the sternum. Take a couple of breaths. I want you to keep the eyes closed. Hands are going to come to the hips. Weight is going to start to come into the right foot. And I just want you to come to the top of the big toe. We're not coming into tree pose, so keep the hips square. I just want you to start to feel the right leg balancing and you feeling all of the weight rooting into that right leg. And then let's open the eyes. Find your drishti, your gaze point. And I want you to lift the left knee up in line with the left hip. Drive the ball of the right foot into the ground. Right leg is nice and firm, so you're lifting up through the torso. And then again, can you make a little bit of space for this left hip crease? So lots of stuff going on. If you fall out of your balance, just come right back into it. So we're going to keep the hands at the hips to start. Put a little bend in that right knee, and then the left ankle is going to come on top of that right knee. You're going to find that figure four pose. If you need to move to a chair or a wall to help you balance, go ahead and do so. I want you to sit back into that chair. Keep the left leg flexed, and then you can bring the hands to the heart. And if you want to go a little bit more, maybe you extend them up to the ceiling. So pretty intense pose for that right thigh and to balance. Keep all of your awareness on your drishti, and then take another full round of breath here. And then let's inhale to rise. Try and balance on that right leg. Hands come to the heart. Left knee is balancing in line with the left hip. Ground into the right leg and then release. So that right leg should be pretty fired up. Shake it out a little bit. And I want you to close the eyes once again. Bring the hands back to the heart. So you already know where you're going. So sometimes the second side is a lot better because we know the direction that we're moving in. So before you open the eyes, ground the left foot down into the floor. Come to the top of the big right toe. And again, before you open your eyes, already see your drishti. Already imagine yourself balancing. And then when you're ready, open your eyes to your drishti. Keep lifting up through the heart. Start to lift the right knee in line with the right hip. Flex the foot. Make space for that right hip crease. And then when you're ready, let's bend the left knee, right ankle on top of the left knee. You can keep the hands at the heart or the hips. Sit back as deep as possible, like you're sitting into a chair. Feel that stretch in the inner right thigh. Reach the hands up if you want. And then wherever you are, we're all taking a full cycle of breath here. Big, deep breath in. And a deep, slow breath out. One more breath. And stay balanced. Start to come up, balancing on that left leg, hands to the heart, right knee in line with the right hip. Grow nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, and then release the foot down. Pause here, close the eyes, and just notice the fire that you might feel within the thighs, maybe a little bit of shaking. And then keep the eyes closed. Sweep the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, lead with the heart. Dive down over the thighs. Inhale, flat back, reach the heart forward. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step back. Find your last downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And then you're going to drop the knees, come into child's pose. If that doesn't work for you, you can come into a comfortable seated pose. Take a full cycle of breath. Let the body settle here. And then rise up. Stay in hero's pose if you can, or come to that seated position. Stack the spine over the ankles. And then we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. Close the eyes. Let's take our 3 cleansing breaths to end our practice. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Bigger breath in. Fuller exhale. And a final time. Deeply inhale. And fully exhale. And then when you're ready, you can blink the eyes open. And I hope you feel and take the gratitude that you find on the mat after this practice with an open mind and an open heart. I hope you take it off the mat and into your weekend. Thank you so much for your practice, and I hope you have a really great day.